Welcome. Thanks for joining me with Rise and Shine Yoga, no matter what time of day it is. We're gathered here in this beautiful garden, yes, by the pool. And we're going to go through an exercise that releases tension, helps you to relax the muscles on the bone, and to find center. You might like a blanket for your practice. Go ahead and welcome yourself to your space. It's so important, and it's a wonderful opportunity that yoga provides to be grounded and centered. And through our intention, as well as the way we're seated, if you're in the easy pose or cross-legged position like I am, then you've got a foundation that's in touch with the ground. And by sending our awareness down through those points of contact, we can begin to feel and gather a sense of grounding. You might begin to feel a little bit heavy. Maybe you get the sensation that stray voltage is leaving your system, kind of like a grounding wire. And then centered. We can do this by bringing the hands together, placing them in front of the heart, and drawing our awareness towards our center. Take a couple of breaths, nice thorough inhales and exhales. Clarifying your sense of groundedness and centeredness. Then we're going to practice through a little bit of breath work and some gentle somatic yoga. Beginning with the alternate nostril breath, you might like your folded blanket underneath you, or if you have a cushion for this sort of practice. It's not required, but it helps us to elevate the sits bones closer to the level of the knees. And this is just easier on the whole pelvic structure and the low back. So you might go ahead and engage the core to also assist with finding a neutral spine, being able to relax your shoulders back and down. And this elevated posture might help you to fill with more breath. The alternate nostril breath is done with a mudra or two, mudra being a gesture, in this case, of the hands. So with our left hand, we might take the chin mudra, taking the thumb and first finger together, setting the hand down face up to receive energy, and face down to continue your grounding. And then the right hand takes the Gyan Mudra. It might be called something different, but this is for alternate nostril breath. So we take the first two fingers towards the palm, and we center the hand in front of the nose. So here, the ring and pinky fingers will close and then open the left nostril, and the thumb the right. We'll start with a breath in and out of both nostrils. After your complete exhale, close the right nostril with the thumb and inhale through the left. Nice, smooth, full inhale. And as you exhale, switch. Close the left nostril and open the right. Exhale completely. And go ahead and inhale that right side again. And always at the top of the breath, we switch nostrils, close the right, open the left, and exhale. And that's one round. We're going to do a few more. Go ahead and inhale through the left. At the top of the breath, switch nostrils and exhale through the right. Then inhale the right. At the top, switch and exhale the left. And keep going. If you have your own rhythm, inhaling the same side. At the top of the breath, switching and exhaling the opposite side. Inhaling the same. Switching at the top and continuing. Notice how and where the breath enters the body and leaves the body. Notice that your shoulders are still relaxed. And the next time that you exhale through the left side, go ahead and bring your hand back to your knee or your thigh. Breathing evenly through both nostrils. This is a very centering and balancing breath practice. But let this be your experience. So whatever sensations that you find, then own them, file them, remember them. And when you're ready, we'll come down onto our bellies for our first gentle somatic yoga exercise. I'm gonna slide my blanket out of the way and come down onto my belly with the toes pointed straight behind me. And I'm gonna face the camera, so I'm on my left cheek. If you can still see the screen and be on your left. And take the right hand underneath that left cheek. So we're looking out at the right elbow. The left arm is still down alongside the body. Palm up, just relaxing. And this is part of the Restore the Core series. So what's going to happen is we're going to tap into the muscles of the low back and try to release held tension in the neuromuscular patterns. So simultaneously, we're going to lift that right elbow, the head's going to come with it, and the left leg. So it's like half of an X. Stretching long, using the back muscles. From toe to crown of head, we're stretching. Front of the body can relax. And then slowly make your way back down. And now release all tension, all effort. Just relax. Take a breath in and out. And we're going to do this about 4 more times. So inhale or exhale, just keep breathing. Elbow and opposite leg lift. And then lower. And each time that you lower, you release all effort, all tension. And keep going. Stretching as you go. So we're not really strengthening as much as we're lengthening. But moving nice and slow helps the mind to process these new patterns. We'll take 2 more on your own time. You don't need to lift that left shoulder, just the right. You can explore a slightly different path each time that you go. Make sure you exhale completely before your next move. Great, and now relax all effort again. Maybe bring your right arm down alongside, and this is I'm actually going to move my whole body around so I can still face the camera, but you can just turn your head over if you want. So now both arms. And we're going to bring that left hand underneath the right cheek, pointing the toes straight away, and that left elbow is out to the side. And I'll try to relax all effort, just as we started, connecting with the ground. Tune into the rhythm of the breath, and then start to lift that left elbow. The head extends or lifts, and the neck extends, and that right leg comes up to the other half of the X. Stretch and explore the edge of this boundary, and then gently move back down. When you've reached bottom, relax again, maybe with an exhale, and then go again. Probably a total of 4 or 5 times. You don't need to be exact, because we're really undoing neuromuscular patterns, and we don't necessarily want to start new ones. But do release tension between each lift. Do pick a new path each time you rise up. Do relax the front of the body as you move. Do continue keeping with the rhythm of your breath. Or maybe you take one more. And then bring both arms down alongside. Try to relax all tension. Point your toes. To as you feel sensation in the both sides, low back and hips. We'll move on to another part of Restore the Core series. This is all Gentle Somatic Yoga by James Knight. Wonderful practice that we get to use today to release tension, feel freedom and relaxation. So here we have knees and hips at right angles, and our legs are stacked. I'm trying not to scratch too much because the bugs are out today. But it sure is a beautiful day. We're going to sink down again. So I'm using my, again, we're doing top and bottom sides. It doesn't matter so much if your left is on top or your right is on top. I'm just going to use top and bottom. Okay, so my bottom arm is propping up my head. And if this is uncomfortable, you can grab your blanket and stick it underneath, or just let your head hang towards the floor. But do relax as best you can. So this is a 2-part movement. We're going to split them up and then put them together. This is what I call side-lying crunches. The leg part is pretty simple, but not common. So what happens is we keep the knees together, and that top foot lifts as the whole leg kind of pivots up. Find your limit and then lower it back down. We're going to do that one more time just to get the feel of it. Knees stay together, but that top leg lifts towards the sky. Hopefully you feel that in all the major movers of the leg. Set that foot back down. Great. Now relax the legs, and we're going to take the top arm and like we're reaching up overhead. And here we're going to rest the hand underneath the head, maybe by the ear. And this part is just going to take the elbow and the hand kind of carrying or trailing the head up towards the sky, and then lowering back down. Try to stay long in the spine and relaxed in the shoulders as you do it. And then we'll do this one more time. Keep with the breath. Relax as you can while you move. And set it back down. Once again, relax all effort. Coming from a place of rest helps the mind tune into the body. And then we'll do them together. So now the foot and the elbow rise up almost like they're arcing towards each other. And then we lower back down. We'll just do this 2 more times, each time finding a slightly different path. So maybe opening up a little bit behind you as you lift and arc. Take your time and lower. Maybe exhale to relax. And then maybe this time rising up just a little bit forward, but same movement. And then lowering all the way back down. And maybe take that top arm, lay it alongside. Just pause here. Mindfully moving onto your back. We'll take constructive rest with the knees bent or shavasana for about 3 breaths to tap into the sensations on both sides of the body. Noticing which side was just doing all of the work and asking yourself how it's different from the other side that was at rest. Hopefully it has a different sensation, and you can carry that onto the other side. Again, I'm gonna move to the opposite side of the mat so I can face the camera, but you can just roll over. Either is fine. Find a support for your head, whether it be the arm, the floor, or your blanket. Knees and hips are at right angles, stacked. Top arm rests alongside. So we'll split up those movements again by keeping the knees together and the top foot lifts up. So we're really targeting all of these muscles here. See what you feel as the foot just sort of holds and then lowers gently. One more time. When you're ready, make sure you're nice and relaxed as you begin your movement. Keep the breath steady. Inhales and exhales matching. Go ahead and relax. Then arc the arm up overhead like you're reaching up, and then bring your fingers under your head by that bottom ear. And this movement is going to be the elbow rising and the head kind of trailing. Keep the neck nice and long as the elbow reaches up. And then lower back down. And relax. We'll do it one more time. Notice the shoulder muscles that are moving and sensations that happen. Try to relax what you need to relax. And then lower back down. Release all effort before we put the 2 movements together. When you're ready, foot and elbow rise up, almost like they're looking for each other. Find your limit and then lower. Settle everything back down. And on these next 2 movements, try and find a new path. So I'm going to go a little bit behind where I just was. Moving into all new areas of muscle movement. Relax. And now we'll do this forward a little bit, or whatever you choose. Make sure you're stretching or at least lengthening, feeling space between the movements. Relax back down. Take that top arm along the side of your body and take a breath. And then we're going to come on to our backs one more time. If you want to keep your knees bent to feel less compression in the low spine, keep your feet on the floor. Otherwise, find Shavasana for just about 2 breaths. Let your inhales be satisfying and your exhales be thorough and complete. Feeling yourself sink a little bit deeper on each exhale. Again, taking time to let the mind follow your activity. And when you're ready, we'll come back up into a comfortable seat, either by rolling onto one side and pushing yourself up, or grabbing behind your knees and rocking and rolling along your spine. Keep the nose close to the knees till you come to a seat. And again, you can sit on your cushion, your blanket, or just on your mat, the floor. If you generally cross your legs one way, I invite you to cross them the other. And we're gonna move into some shoulder and neck tension release in what's called the Celtic cross. This can be done on your side, but we're gonna do them the both sides together seated. So you might just rest your arms, hands down towards the floor. Use your core just to support yourself and hold a nice posture, nice long spine. Find a nice rhythm for your breath. In fact, you might just take a moment to find some diaphragmatic breaths where the breath actually comes all the way down to the base of the lungs and the respiratory diaphragm expands out and down. And so you can exaggerate this expansion of the belly like you've just had a big meal and now you can take off your belt and just let it all expand. And as you exhale, it all comes back to center. I'll try this a couple of times. Hopefully it feels nice and not awkward, but know that it's doing wonderful things for your respiratory system. Don't forget, front, back, and sides are all included on this expansion. Great, and now we'll bring our awareness back to the shoulders, finding that just that gentle slope that is our neutral posture. And keeping with a nice rhythm of the breath, you can just move the breath back to what feels natural. We're gonna take both shoulders slowly up towards the ears, noticing the micro movements and trying to relax along the way. So make it like ridiculously slow until you reached your limit. And again, it's almost like you can move and then relax, and then move and then relax. And when you found the top, pause and then make your way back down to center. Nice and slow again, and pause. Don't forget to breathe. And now we take the shoulders and kind of push them down towards our pelvis. You can barely even see it, but you know it's happening because you're making that effort. And then gently back up to center, relax. And now we're going to internally rotate, roll the shoulders forward. So you might notice the pinkies rolling towards the wall in front of you. And again, we're exploring range of motion, not forcing or straining. And then back through center, palms face towards you. Pause at center, and then we'll roll the thumbs back, opening the shoulders behind you. Pausing here, and then coming back through center. And relax. We're gonna do this whole Celtic cross 2 more times. Knowing center, relaxing, finding your posture, using the breath to guide you, and start to bring the shoulders up towards the ears. You might move them back a little bit to find a new path, because we're undoing old paths, not forming new ones. When you reach the top, start to come back down. And release effort before pushing the shoulders down towards the pelvis. And then make your way back up to center. Roll the shoulders forward, pinkies towards the wall in front of you, maybe a little bit lower track than before. And then coming back around, acknowledging center, rolling the thumbs behind you and opening the shoulders, external rotation. And then coming back to center and pause. Notice if you feel a little bit more freedom in these areas. Maybe you can't exactly put your finger on it, but know that it's doing wonderful things. So we'll do this one more time. Bringing the shoulders up towards the ears, maybe you find a new path. Mine's a little bit more forward this time. And when I reach the top, I relax where I can and start to lower back down. Don't forget to keep your inhales and exhales steady, mindful. Pause at center, and when you're ready, bring the shoulders down towards the ground. Again, a different trajectory, different path. And then back through center and pause. Now we roll the pinkies forward, internal rotation. Mine are a little bit higher than before. Noticing your edge and then coming back through center. I said edge, but I didn't really mean that in terms of like I went further this time than last time, because it's not what it's about. It's just about exploration and releasing tension. So when you're ready, come back behind you. Sometimes it's difficult to grasp because we're not used to this sort of like freedom, not knowing what to expect. Okay, when you're ready, come back to center. Pause here. Notice sensation. Notice if you can lengthen your neck without even trying. Notice if you can sense a little bit more freedom on the next inhale or two. Releasing on the exhale. And I invite you to come back into a relaxing pose again, like Shavasana or constructive rest. Allowing ourselves the opportunity to integrate what we've learned in our practice and what we would like to experience after our practice. So if you want constructive rest, then keep the feet bent. The knees bent and the feet on the floor. You can still take the arms out to the sides with the palms up. And if you want the traditional Shavasana pose, your feet can go wide to the corners of the mat, toes flopped out to the sides. Find that connection of your body with the ground beneath you. Allow each exhale to improve your sense of groundedness, heaviness, and connection. These postures are anatomically neutral. The muscles are completely relaxed on the bones. Let the breath become intuitive for the next minute or two, finding its way to any last bits of held tension. And as it travels there, it offers oxygen, nutrients, light, space, whatever you need. And each exhale carries away that last bit of tension. And when you're ready, let your next couple of breaths become a little bit longer and stronger. Let your exhales become more decisive. And bring movement to the fingers and toes, into the arms and legs as you move and stretch. Making your way onto one side with knees bent, this fetal position, offering you a moment of transition. About 2 breaths here. When you're ready, you can use that top hand and push yourself up to a comfortable seat. Offering yourself ease, space, and positive intentions. May you find freedom in your day and your movements. Thank you for sharing your time, space, and practice. Namaste.